The notification lit up my phone at 2:55 a.m. while I was in a Houston hotel room, 300 miles from home. A message from an unknown number. Just a screenshot. No words, no explanation. But what I saw made my blood run cold. It was a text conversation between my wife, Emily, and someone named Jay in her phone. The timestamp showed it was from earlier that evening, while I was supposed to be in meetings all week. Can't wait until Thursday. Brandon's flight doesn't get back until Friday night. We'll have the whole night. Your place or mine? I'm thinking we should celebrate properly this time. Mine. The bed's bigger. And I just bought something special to wear for you. I read it 3 times, then 4. My hands were shaking so badly I nearly dropped the phone. Brandon. That was me. My wife was talking about me like I was just an obstacle to work around. The sender's message finally came through. Thought you should know. I'm sorry, man. Tyler from the gym. Tyler. Emily's workout buddy from the CrossFit box she'd joined 6 months ago. I'd met him once, briefly. Seemed like a decent guy. Apparently decent enough to screenshot whatever Emily had accidentally sent to the wrong person. Or maybe she'd been careless in a group chat. I didn't know. Didn't matter. What mattered was that my wife of 8 years, the mother of our 2 daughters, was planning to spend tomorrow night with someone else. I sat on the edge of that hotel bed for what felt like hours but was probably only minutes. My mind raced through the past few months, looking for signs I'd missed. Emily had been different lately. Happier, actually. More energetic. She'd lost weight, started caring more about her appearance. I'd thought it was just the CrossFit thing, maybe a new confidence boost. Like an idiot, I'd even encouraged it. You look amazing, babe, I told her just last week. She'd smiled and kissed me, then spent the next hour on her phone while I put our daughters to bed. How long had this been going on? I opened my phone's photo gallery and scrolled back through recent pictures. There we were at Sophia's 7th birthday party 3 weeks ago. Emily and I smiling, arms around each other. Was she already sleeping with him then? There was the family beach trip in July. Our 10th anniversary dinner in June. No, wait, that was our 8th. We'd talked about renewing our vows for the 10th. God, I was going to be sick. I pulled up my calendar. Today was Tuesday. My flight home was scheduled for Friday evening at 6, landing at Bush Intercontinental around 7:30. Emily thought she had all of Thursday night. A full night to do whatever she wanted in our bed, in our home, probably while my daughter slept at her mother's house. The rage hit me then, hot and sudden. I wanted to call her right that second, scream at her, demand answers. My finger hovered over her contact photo, a picture from our honeymoon in Cancun, her laughing in the surf, sun-kissed and beautiful. I'd thought I was the luckiest man alive. But something stopped me. Maybe it was the lawyer in me. I was a contracts attorney, spent my days thinking through scenarios and consequences. If I called now, angry and accusatory based on a single screenshot, she'd have time to prepare. Time to delete evidence, craft her story, maybe even turn it around on me somehow. No, I needed to be smart about this. I took screenshots of everything Tyler had sent me, backed them up to 3 different cloud services, and emailed them to my personal account. Then I texted Tyler back. Thanks for telling me. Can you send me anything else you might have? His response came quickly. That's all I got. She sent it to the gym group chat by accident, deleted it within seconds. But I'd already screenshotted. Been debating whether to tell you for 2 hours. This sucks, man. Do you know who Jay is? No idea. Sorry. I thanked him and sat back, thinking. Jay. Someone with access to a place of their own. Someone Emily was comfortable enough with to plan an overnight affair while I was supposedly out of town. Then it hit me. I could change my flight. Come home early. Thursday afternoon instead of Friday evening. Walk right into whatever she had planned. But was that the smart play? Catching them in the act would give me emotional satisfaction, sure, but what would it actually accomplish? In Texas, we had no-fault divorce. Adultery didn't affect property division, and it barely mattered for custody unless you could prove it harmed the kids. Still, I needed to know. Needed to see it with my own eyes, as much as the thought made me want to punch through the hotel room wall. I pulled up the airline website and looked at flights. There was one landing Thursday at 2 p.m. That would give me plenty of time to get home, set up, and wait. Maybe install one of those nanny cams I'd been meaning to get for the house anyway. My phone buzzed. A text from Emily. "Hope your presentation went well. Girls are asleep. Miss you." I stared at that heart emoji for a long moment. How easily she lied. How casually she could send me love while planning to betray me. I typed back, "Went great. Miss you too. Give the girls kisses for me." Then I booked the Thursday flight and started planning exactly how I was going to catch my wife in the act. The flight confirmation sat in my inbox like a loaded gun. United 2847, Thursday 2 p.m. departure, arriving Phoenix Sky Harbor at 3:45 p.m. local time. I stared at my phone screen, the blue light harsh in the pre-dawn darkness of the hotel room. Emily's last text. "Miss you already, baby. Can't wait for Friday night," glowed above the confirmation. The hypocrisy of it made my jaw clench so hard my teeth ached. Thursday. Less than 36 hours from now. I needed to think this through. The lawyer part of my brain, the part that had gotten me through law school and a decade of contract negotiations, started cataloging what I knew versus what I needed to know. Facts. Emily was having an affair with someone named Jay. She'd planned Thursday night together while I was supposedly in Houston. Tyler had evidence. I had evidence backed up in 3 separate locations. Unknowns. Who the hell was Jay? How long had this been going on? Where were they meeting? I pulled up Emily's Instagram, something I rarely checked. Her most recent post was from 3 days ago. A gym selfie, her lean arm flexed, sports bra showing off the flat stomach she'd worked so hard for. The caption read, "Stronger every day. CrossFit life transformation. Tuesday." 43 likes. I scrolled through the comments. Most were from other women at her gym, encouraging emojis and "You go girl" variants. But there, buried in the middle, was a comment from an account called Edgematics Fit. "Looking strong." Emily had replied with a blushing emoji. My hands were shaking as I clicked on the profile. Private account. The profile picture showed a guy, maybe early 30s, dark hair, CrossFit gym visible in the background. The bio read, "Phoenix. Coach. Athlete. Jay Maddox." Jesus Christ, her CrossFit coach. I scrolled back through Emily's posts, seeing them all differently now. 6 months of transformation photos, gym check-ins, workout videos, and scattered through the comments on nearly every post. Aid Maddox Fit with fire emojis, flexed biceps, applause. I'd thought I was being supportive. When Emily said she wanted to join CrossFit, I'd encouraged it. Told her I was proud of her for prioritizing her health. I'd watch the girls on the evenings she had late classes, never questioning why a workout would run until 9 or 10 at night. Like an idiot. The timestamp on Tyler's screenshot showed 11:47 p.m. Emily's message to Jay. "Thursday night is perfect. B doesn't get back until Friday evening. We'll have the whole night." Whole night? At our house? With our daughter sleeping upstairs? My stomach turned. I opened the Ring app on my phone, the one connected to our doorbell camera. We'd installed it 2 years ago after a package theft in the neighborhood. Emily had thought it was a great idea. I started scrolling backward through the footage, jumping to evening hours. Monday night. Emily's car in the driveway at 6:15 p.m. stayed there all night. Sunday, same thing. Saturday, her car left at 7:30 a.m., returned at 9:45 a.m. with the girls visible in the back seat. Normal weekend morning, probably errands. Friday, her car left at 7 p.m., didn't return until 11:23 p.m. I felt cold. Friday night, she'd told me she was going to a girls' night at someone's house from the gym. I'd been home with Sophia and Mia, put them to bed, watched a game. She'd texted me around 9. Having so much fun. These women are amazing. Probably be late, don't wait up, with a wine glass emoji. I kept scrolling. Thursday of last week. Car left at 6:45 p.m., returned at 10:38 p.m. Late class, she'd said. Tuesday before that, car left at 7:15 p.m., returned at 11:02 p.m. How far back did this go? I jumped back a month. The pattern was there, but less frequent. Every week or so, late departures, late returns. 2 months back, it was maybe twice a month. 3 months. My phone buzzed. A text from Emily. You up early? Everything okay? I checked the time. 5:47 a.m. I'd been scrolling through footage for over an hour. Couldn't sleep. Work stress, I typed back. Going to hit the hotel gym. That's my athletic husband. Don't work too hard today. Love you. I didn't respond. I couldn't. Instead, I opened a new note on my phone and started documenting everything. Dates and times from the ring footage, screenshots of the Instagram comments, Tyler's original message. The text exchange between Emily and Jay. I created a folder in my cloud drive labeled Work Houston Contract and uploaded everything. Then I did something I'd never thought I'd do. I opened Safari in private mode and searched Phoenix CrossFit coaches Jason Maddox. Third result, Desert Peak CrossFit staff page. There he was. Jason Maddox, head coach. 32 years old, CrossFit Level 3 certified, competed in some regional competition last year. The photo showed him grinning at the camera, arms crossed, every inch the confident athlete. I clicked on the gym's Instagram. Recent post from yesterday, a group photo from a workout class. I zoomed in, scanning faces until I found Emily. She was in the back row, and standing directly behind her, hands on her shoulders, was Jason Maddox. The caption, Great turnout for Tuesday night's class. Love this community. Emily had liked it. So had 47 other people. I checked the gym's address. 4382 East Baseline Road. I pulled up Google Maps, entered our home address as the destination. 12 minutes away. Then I searched for Jason Maddox's address. It took some digging, LinkedIn, property records, a people finder site I had to pay $12 to access. But I found it. 2847 South Terrace Drive. A rental property, single-family home. 15 minutes from our house. I pulled up the ring footage again, this time looking at timestamps more carefully. Friday night, when Emily left at 7 p.m. and returned at 11:23 p.m. 4 hours and 23 minutes. Not enough time to really go anywhere far. Dinner and drinks with girlfriends? Maybe. Or 15 minutes to South Terrace Drive, several hours there, 15 minutes back. The nausea was back. I stood up, paced the hotel room. The Houston skyline was starting to lighten outside the window, the darkness giving way to gray. My phone buzzed again. This time it was Tyler. Hey man, been thinking about you. You doing okay? I stared at the message. Tyler didn't know me well. We'd met exactly twice, once when I'd picked Emily up from a gym social event, once at a CrossFit competition she dragged me to. But he'd cared enough to send me that screenshot to blow up someone else's life because it was the right thing to do. Been better, I typed. Thanks for sending that. I know it wasn't easy. His response came quickly. Had to. My sister went through something similar. Guy knew and nobody told him for 6 months. Destroyed him. Figured you deserve to know. Can I ask you something? Sure. How well do you know Jason Maddox? The typing indicator appeared, disappeared, appeared again. Finally. He's the head coach. Everybody knows him. Why? just trying to figure some things out. Another long pause. Then, man, I don't want to pile on, but if you're asking, there have been rumors. Nothing confirmed. But he's got a reputation with some of the married women at the gym. Management talked to him about it last year. My hands clenched around the phone. And they kept him on? He brings in a lot of business. Competition wins, social media following. You know how it is? I did know. Money talks, results talk, morality takes a back seat. Thanks, Tyler. I owe you. You don't owe me anything. Just be smart about whatever you're planning. Don't do anything that'll screw you over in the long run. Good advice. Lawyer advice. The kind of advice I'd give a client. I looked at the time. 6:15 a.m. I had meetings starting at 9. A full day of negotiations ahead, contracts to review, calls to make. And somehow I had to function like a normal human being while my entire life was imploding. But first, I had one more thing to check. I pulled up our cell phone account, logged into the family plan dashboard. Emily's line showed her data usage, call logs, text message counts. I couldn't see the content of texts, not without spyware I didn't have, but I could see the numbers. There, over and over in the call log, a Phoenix number I didn't recognize. Calls lasting 5 minutes, 10 minutes, 20 minutes. Text message counts in the hundreds over the past month alone. I ran the number through a reverse lookup. No name attached, but the area code and prefix matched South Terrace Drive's neighborhood. Jason Maddox's number. Had to be. I took screenshots of everything, added them to the cloud folder. Then I opened my email and started composing a message to myself with the subject line. Evidence. Do not delete. In the body, I listed everything I'd found, every timestamp, every piece of the puzzle. I attached the screenshots, the ring footage clips, the Instagram posts. When I was done, it was a comprehensive timeline of my wife's affair, documented with the same thoroughness I'd use for a complex contract dispute. Then I scheduled the email to send Friday morning at 8 a.m. Insurance, in case something happened to my phone or cloud access. My phone alarm went off. 7 a.m., time to get ready for the day. I silenced it and sat on the edge of the hotel bed, staring at nothing. 36 hours until I landed in Phoenix. 36 hours to keep it together, to act normal, to not let Emily know that I knew. 36 hours to decide exactly what I was going to do when I walked through our front door on Thursday afternoon and caught my wife with her CrossFit coach. The Phoenix heat hit me like a wall when I stepped off the plane. Thursday at 2:17 p.m., 37 minutes early. I'd checked the timestamp 3 times during the flight. My hands were steady as I collected my rental car, a silver Camry that Emily wouldn't recognize. I'd parked our Audi in long-term parking back in Houston, let the office think I was staying through Friday like planned. Nobody needed to know I was here. The drive to our neighborhood took 22 minutes. Every red light felt like an hour. I pulled past our house on Saguaro Ridge Drive without slowing. Emily's white Lexus sat in the driveway. 2:43 p.m. She'd told me she had errands all afternoon. Target, then grocery shopping, then picking up Sophia from a playdate at 5. I'd gotten the text at noon, complete with a heart emoji. Miss you, babe. Can't wait for tomorrow night. The girls are at my mom's until 6. The girls were at her mom's. Our house was empty except for my wife. I circled the block, parked 2 streets over behind a landscaping truck. Pulled up the Ring app on my phone with hands that had started shaking again. The live feed showed our front door, quiet and still. I scrolled back through the footage. 11:47 a.m. Emily leaving in workout clothes, gym bag over her shoulder. 1:23 p.m. Emily returning, different clothes. Sundress. Hair down. She'd showered. 1:31 p.m. A black Dodge Charger pulling into our driveway. My blood ran cold. I watched the footage frame by frame. A man got out of the Charger, tall, athletic build, tribal tattoo visible on his left forearm. Jason Maddox. I'd found his Instagram last night, memorized his face during 3 sleepless hours. He walked up to my front door like he owned the place. Didn't knock, just opened it and went inside. The timestamp read 1:34 p.m. It was 2:51 p.m. now. He'd been in my house for over an hour. In my house, where my daughter slept, where Sophia kept her stuffed animals lined up on her bed, where Mia's artwork covered the fridge, where Emily and I had painted the nursery together 8 years ago, where we'd hosted birthday parties and Christmas mornings and 1,000 ordinary evenings that I'd thought meant something. I pulled up the interior camera footage. We had one in the living room, facing the front door. Emily didn't know I'd set it to continuous recording last month after we'd had a package stolen. Just security, I'd told her. Just being careful. The app loaded slowly. Then I saw them. Emily and Jason on our couch. Our couch, where we watched movies with the girls on Sunday nights. Where Sophia had taken her first steps, holding onto the armrest. I couldn't watch. Didn't need to. The evidence was there, time-stamped and saved to the cloud. I took screenshots anyway, hands moving on autopilot. Backed them up to 3 different services. 2:54 p.m. I could drive over there right now, walk through my front door and catch them exactly where they were. The lawyer part of my brain started calculating. Texas was a no-fault state, but Arizona wasn't. Adultery mattered here. Photographic evidence, video evidence, caught in the act in the marital home. But I sat in the Camry behind the landscaping truck, watching the live feed, waiting. At 3:17 p.m., Jason emerged from my house, adjusted his shirt, ran a hand through his hair, walked to his Charger like he was leaving the gym after a workout. Casual. Easy. Emily appeared in the doorway, leaning against the frame in that sundress. Smiled at him. Waved. He blew her a kiss before getting in his car. I memorized his license plate. Took a photo. Watched him drive past my hiding spot, heading toward the main road. Emily went back inside. The Ring camera showed her checking her phone, then disappearing from view. My phone buzzed. A text from her. Grocery shopping taking forever. Might grab Starbucks after. Want me to bring you anything tomorrow? Tomorrow. When I was supposed to come home. When she'd greet me at the door with a hug and ask about my trip, with our daughters running to show me their drawings. I typed back with fingers that had gone numb. Just you. Miss you. 3 dots appeared. Then a heart emoji and a kissy face. I sat there for another hour, watching the live feed. At 4:23 p.m., Emily left in the Lexus, presumably to actually pick up Sophia, playing the part of devoted mother. She'd probably stop at Starbucks for real, come home with shopping bags and that bright smile. I drove back to the rental car return, caught an Uber to a hotel near the airport. Not the Marriott where I usually stayed. Somewhere Emily wouldn't think to look if she somehow found out I was in town. A Holiday Inn off the highway, anonymous and quiet. The room smelled like industrial cleaner and old carpet. I sat on the edge of the bed and opened my laptop, pulled up the video files I'd downloaded. Organized them by date and time. Cross-referenced them with Emily's text messages to me. Every working late and girls' night and grocery run that had really been something else. February 14th, Valentine's Day. She'd told me she was getting her nails done with her sister. The Ring footage showed Jason's Charger in our driveway from 2 p.m. to 4 p.m. I'd been at the office working late to finish a contract review. Came home to roses I'd ordered, kissed my wife, played with my daughters before bedtime. March 3rd. Sophia's birthday party. Jason had been there. I remembered him now, one of the gym people Emily had invited. He'd helped set up the bounce house, stayed for cake. I'd shaken his hand, thanked him for coming. The Ring footage from that night showed his car returning at 11 p.m., leaving at 1:47 a.m. I'd been asleep on the couch, exhausted from the party. Emily had said she was cleaning up. March 22nd. Our anniversary. 8 years. We'd gone to dinner at Kai, our favorite restaurant. She'd worn the red dress I loved, held my hand across the table, told me she'd never been happier. The next afternoon, while I was at the office, Jason's car was in our driveway for 3 hours. I made a spreadsheet. Dates, times, duration. Cross-referenced with my calendar, with Emily's texts, with credit card statements. A pattern emerged. Every Tuesday and Thursday afternoon when the girls were at activities or with Emily's mom. Some Saturdays when I was playing golf with clients. Late nights when I was traveling. At least 47 times in the past 4 months alone. 47 times that I could document. How many more before I'd installed the cameras? How many times in our bed, on our couch, in our home? My phone rang at 6:34 p.m. Emily. I let it ring twice before answering, kept my voice level. Hey. Hi. Just got the girls fed and bathed at Mom's. They want to say goodnight. Sophia's voice came through, bright and innocent. Daddy, I made you a picture at school. Yeah? What's it of, sweetheart? Our family. You and Mommy and me and Mia and Buster. Our dog, a golden retriever who thought he was a lapdog. I can't wait to see it, baby. I'll be home tomorrow, okay? Okay, love you, Daddy. Love you more. Mia's voice next, smaller, sleepier. Night-night, Daddy. Night-night, Princess. Sweet dreams. Then Emily again. They miss you. I miss you. I looked at the spreadsheet on my laptop screen. March 22nd. Our anniversary. Miss you too. Tomorrow. Tomorrow, she agreed. I'm making your favorite for dinner. Pot roast. Like everything was normal. Like she hadn't spent this afternoon in our house with another man. Like she wasn't planning to do it again while I was supposedly still in Houston. Sounds perfect, I said. We hung up. I sat in the Holiday Inn room, staring at months of evidence and felt something cold settle in my chest where the rage had been. No more emotion, no more shock, just clarity. I opened a new document and started typing. A timeline. A plan. Every step mapped out with the same precision I used for contract negotiations. Tomorrow I'd go home like nothing was wrong. Kiss my wife, hug my daughters, eat pot roast at our dining room table, and then I'd wait for Tuesday. The weekend passed in slow motion. Saturday morning, I made pancakes while Emily scrolled through her phone at the kitchen table, smiling at something on the screen. Probably him. I flipped another pancake, watched it bubble and brown, and thought about the spreadsheet hidden in my encrypted files. These are great, Daddy, Sophia announced, syrup dripping down her chin. Best pancakes ever, Mia echoed, kicking her feet against her chair. Emily looked up, caught my eye, smiled. You're in a good mood. Just happy to be home. The lie came easy now. I'd practiced it all night Friday, lying next to her in our bed, feeling her warmth against my back and wanting to scream. She reached across the table, squeezed my hand. I missed you. I squeezed back, smiled, died a little inside. Sunday afternoon. I drove to Home Depot while Emily took the girls to her mother's house. Told her I needed supplies for the garage shelves I'd been putting off. Another lie in the growing collection. I didn't go to Home Depot. I went to a storage facility off Highway 10, paid cash for a small unit, and started moving things. Not furniture, nothing she'd notice missing. But the things that mattered. My grandfather's watch collection from the safe. The signed first edition Hemingways from my study. My father's Vietnam medals. The external hard drive with every photo from the last 8 years. Our wedding, the girls' births, every birthday and Christmas and random Tuesday. I'd already backed everything up to 3 separate cloud services using accounts she didn't know existed. But I wanted the physical items somewhere she couldn't touch them. somewhere her lawyer couldn't inventory. The storage unit was climate-controlled, 10 by 10, Unit 247. I memorized the code. Didn't write it down anywhere. By the time I got home, Emily was making dinner. The girls were in the living room, some cartoon playing on the TV. "How'd the shelves go?" she asked, stirring something on the stove. "Good. Got everything I need. I'll start next weekend." She kissed my cheek. I smelled her perfume, the expensive one I'd bought her for Christmas. Wondered if she wore it for him too. Monday morning, I was at my desk by 7. My paralegal, Jennifer, knocked on my door at 7:45 with coffee and a questioning look. "You're here early." "Couldn't sleep." "True enough." "Everything okay?" I looked at her. 50-something. Been with the firm for 20 years. Seen everything. Divorced twice herself. She'd know. But I wasn't ready to say it out loud yet. Saying it made it real. "Yeah, just a lot on my mind." She nodded, didn't push. Set the coffee down and left. I pulled up the spreadsheet again. 47 encounters. 4 months. I'd added 3 more from the weekend. Cross-referenced Emily's errands on Saturday with Jason's Instagram story showing him at the same coffee shop in Scottsdale. Sunday, she'd claimed a yoga class. Jason had posted a gym selfie with the timestamp showing 10:47 a.m. Emily's yoga class was supposedly at 11. Sloppy. They were getting sloppy. Or maybe they'd always been this sloppy, and I'd just been too trusting to notice. My phone buzzed. Text from Emily. "Don't forget Sophia has soccer at 4. Can you pick her up?" "I have a thing." "A thing? Right. Sure, no problem." I opened Jason's Instagram again. He'd posted a new photo this morning. Some motivational quote about living your truth superimposed over a sunset. 43 comments, all variations of "so inspiring" and "needed this today." I checked his followers. 2,847. Emily was number 412. Username, Emily loves to run. I clicked through to her profile. Public account. Photos of the girls, a few of us together, lots of her CrossFit progress shots. She looked good. Better than good. I'd noticed the weight loss, the new muscle definition, told myself I should be supportive. Like an idiot, I'd even paid for the gym membership. I scrolled through her photos. There, 3 weeks ago, group shot from the gym. Jason was in the back row, Emily in the front, his hand on her shoulder. I zoomed in. His fingers were curved, intimate. Not the casual touch of a coach. The photo had 63 likes. I recognized some of the names. Tyler was one of them. Had he known then? Had they all known? My office phone rang. Client call. I took it, discussed contract terms for 20 minutes, sounded completely normal. Hung up and stared at the wall. Tuesday, tomorrow was Tuesday. I'd been planning this since Friday night, lying awake while Emily slept. The confrontation had to be perfect, had to be controlled. I couldn't just blow up, couldn't let emotion drive the bus. I was a contracts attorney. I knew how to build a case, how to present evidence, how to win. But first, I needed one more thing. Tuesday morning, I left the house at 6:30. Told Emily I had an early meeting. Drove to Jason's neighborhood instead. A newer development in North Phoenix, cookie-cutter houses with desert landscaping and 2-car garages. His address was easy to find. I'd pulled it from the gym's website, cross-referenced with public records. 4782 Desert Willow Drive. Single-family home, 3-bed, 2-bath, purchased 18 months ago for $385,000. I parked 3 houses down, engine off, and waited. At 7:15, his garage door opened. Black Jeep Wrangler, lifted, custom wheels. Vanity plate, Fit Life. Of course it was. He backed out, headed toward the main road. I waited 5 minutes, then drove past his house slowly. The garage was still open. I could see workout equipment inside, a heavy bag hanging in the corner, motivational posters on the walls. I took 3 photos with my phone, then kept driving. The neighbor across the street was getting his newspaper. Older guy, retired maybe. I pulled over, rolled down my window. "Excuse me, sorry to bother you. I'm looking for the Martinez residence. I think I have the wrong street." He walked over, friendly enough. "No Martinez on this street. You sure you got the right address? Must have written it down wrong. Hey, do you know the guy in that house?" I pointed to Jason's place. "Black Jeep? I think we might have gone to high school together." "Jason. Nice kid. Keeps to himself mostly. Has people over sometimes, but nothing crazy." "People over?" I kept my voice casual, curious. "Yeah, you know, friends. There's this one lady, comes by pretty regular. Thought maybe she was his girlfriend, but..." He shrugged. "Not my business." My hands tightened on the steering wheel. What'd she look like? "Pretty thing, brown hair, athletic, drives a white SUV. Emily's car. Our car. The one I made payments on." "Huh. Doesn't sound like who I'm thinking of. Thanks anyway." I drove away before he could ask more questions. The office was quiet when I got there. Jennifer wasn't in yet. I closed my door, pulled up a blank document, and started typing. Timeline of events. Brandon Hutchins view Emily Hutchins. I listed everything. Every date, every lie, every piece of evidence. The text messages Tyler had sent me. The Ring camera footage. The Instagram posts. The neighbor's confirmation. The 47 documented encounters. At the bottom, I added, "Witness statement from neighbor at 4782 Desert Willow Drive confirming regular visits by Emily Hutchins to Jason Maddox residence." It read like a legal brief. Cold, clinical, exactly what I needed. I saved it, encrypted it, backed it up. Then I opened my calendar and looked at today's schedule. Lunch was blocked off. Standing reservation at the Arroyo, that Italian place Emily loved. I'd made it 2 weeks ago, told her I wanted to do something special, just the two of us. She'd been surprised, pleased. "You're so sweet," she'd said. "We never do lunch dates anymore." No, we didn't, because she was too busy screwing her CrossFit coach. I checked my watch. 9:47 a.m., 6 hours and 13 minutes until lunch. My phone buzzed. Text from Emily. "So excited for today. Love you." I stared at it. 3 words. Love you. Did she even know what that meant anymore? Love you too. See you at 1. I set the phone down, face down on my desk, and pulled up the video files one more time. I'd edited them together last night. A greatest hits compilation. Ring camera footage of Jason's Jeep in our driveway, time-stamped and dated. Emily's car leaving late at night, returning early morning. Jason leaving our house Thursday afternoon while I was supposedly in Houston. 4 minutes and 37 seconds of irrefutable evidence. I transferred it to my phone, tested it. The video played perfectly, sound and all. You could even hear the birds chirping in some of the morning footage. 6 hours and 9 minutes. I opened my email, started drafting messages to divorce attorneys. Didn't send them yet. Just wrote them, saved them as drafts. 5 different firms, all top-rated, all aggressive. My door opened. Jennifer again, this time with a stack of files. Morning meeting got moved to 2. That work? I thought about it. Lunch at 1, confrontation, aftermath. Can we make it 3 instead? Sure. She set the files down, studied my face. Brandon, seriously, you okay? I will be, I said. After today. The lunch reservation was for Tuesday at 1 o'clock, but I'd been awake since 4 that morning. I'd spent the weekend like a ghost in my own storage unit, sitting on a plastic bin full of photo albums I couldn't bring myself to open, reviewing footage I'd already memorized. Friday night, Emily had texted asking how Houston was. I'd responded with the same casual tone I'd been using all week. Wrapping up, miss you guys. She'd sent back a heart emoji. Saturday morning, while I was pricing moving trucks on my phone, she'd sent a picture of the girls at their soccer game. Sophia had scored twice. I'd stared at that photo for 20 minutes. My daughter's gap-toothed smile, Emily's hand on Mia's shoulder, both of them in the bleachers I should have been sitting in. That's my girl, I'd texted back. Tell her I'm proud of her. What I didn't tell Emily was that I'd already talked to Sophia that morning. Called her on the cell phone I'd gotten her last Christmas, the one Emily didn't know had unlimited data and its own tracking app. We'd talked about her goals, about the new cleats she wanted, normal dad stuff. I didn't ask where mommy was. Didn't need to. I could see Emily's location on my laptop, a little blue dot at Desert Peak CrossFit. Sunday, I'd met with another attorney. Patricia Goodwin, 50-something, with reading glasses on a chain and a reputation for taking scalps in family court. Her office was in Scottsdale, all glass and chrome, the kind of place that charged $400 an hour and earned every penny. She'd reviewed my documentation for 90 minutes without speaking, occasionally making notes on a yellow legal pad. When she finally looked up, her expression was carefully neutral. Mr. Hutchins, I need to ask you something, and I need you to be completely honest with me. Okay. Did you obtain any of this evidence through illegal means? Hacking her accounts? Installing spyware on her devices? Anything like that? No. Ring camera footage from my own house. Phone records from an account in my name that I'm legally authorized to access. Witness statements given voluntarily. Photos taken from public streets. Everything's clean. She'd nodded slowly. And your emotional state right now? Are you going to do something stupid? Confront the other man? Damage property? Anything I need to worry about? I'd thought about that. Really thought about it. I'm angry. I won't lie about that. But I'm not going to do anything that'll hurt my case or my daughter's. I just want this over. Good. Because Arizona is a no-fault state, which means all this evidence, she'd tap the folder. Doesn't matter for the divorce itself, but it matters for everything else. Custody, asset division, spousal support. A judge won't look kindly on a parent who's been sneaking around, lying, exposing the children to her affair partner. So what's the play? We file immediately after you confront her. Today's Sunday, so we'll have everything ready to go Tuesday afternoon. The moment she knows you know, we hit her with papers. Don't give her time to think, to strategize, to hide assets. Speed and precision. I'd liked Patricia. Now it was Tuesday, 12:47 p.m., and I was sitting in my truck in the parking lot of Postino, a wine and bruschetta place Emily loved. Upscale casual, exposed brick, the kind of spot where Phoenix professionals did lunch meetings. I'd chosen it deliberately, public enough that she wouldn't make a scene, nice enough that she wouldn't suspect anything was wrong. My phone buzzed. Emily. Running 5 min late. Sorry. I didn't respond, just sat there, feeling the weight of my phone in my hand. I'd loaded the Ring footage onto it last night, edited down to a highlight reel. 47 separate clips, each one time-stamped, each one showing Jason Maddox's BMW pulling into my driveway within 30 minutes of my documented departures. I'd also printed something. It was in my truck's center console now, sealed in a manila envelope. 12:52. Her Lexus pulled into the lot, the SUV I'd bought her 3 years ago for our anniversary. She'd wanted something safe for the girls. I watched her check her makeup in the rearview mirror, touch up her lipstick. She was wearing a blue sundress I'd never seen before, her hair in loose waves. She looked beautiful. She looked like a stranger. I got out of the truck and met her at the entrance. She smiled, stood on her toes to kiss my cheek. I let her. Hey you, she said. I'm so glad you suggested this. I feel like we haven't had any us time in forever. Yeah, I said. We should talk about that. The hostess seated us at a corner table. Emily ordered a glass of Pinot Grigio. I got water. She didn't notice. Too busy telling me about Mia's dance recital next month, about how Sophia needed new shoes again, growing like a weed. I let her talk, watched her hands move, animated, expressive. Wondered how many times those hands had touched him. The wine arrived. She took a sip, sighed happily. "So how was Houston? You seemed stressed all week." "It was fine, productive." "Good. I know you've been working so hard." She reached across the table, squeezed my hand. "I'm really proud of you, you know that?" I pulled my hand back slowly, picked up my phone. "Brandon? You okay?" "I need to show you something," I said. My voice sounded normal, calm, like I was discussing a contract clause. "And I need you to not make a scene. We're in public, there are people around, and our daughters don't deserve to have this turn into a spectacle." Her smile faltered. "What are you talking about?" I unlocked my phone, pulled up the first video, and turned it toward her. The timestamp read March 15th, 6:47 p.m. My truck, pulling out of the driveway. 32 minutes later, Jason's BMW pulling in. Emily's face went white. "Keep watching," I said. I swiped to the next video. March 22nd. Same pattern. Then March 29th. April 5th. I watched her eyes track the dates, the timestamps, the undeniable pattern. "Brandon, don't." I swiped again. April 12th. April 19th. I have 47 of these, 4 months of documentation. Ring camera, phone records, witness statements. I know when it started. I know how often. I know everything. She was shaking. "I can explain." "No." I set the phone down, screen up, the last video still playing on loop. Jason's car, my driveway, my house. "You can't. There's no explanation that makes this okay. No excuse that changes what you did. It wasn't supposed to be." Her voice cracked. "Brandon, please, I love you. Stop." The word came out harder than I'd intended. An older couple at the next table glanced over. I lowered my voice. "You don't get to say that. Not anymore. Not after this. The girls are exactly why we're doing this in public. So you can't lie, can't manipulate, can't do whatever you were planning to do when I found out." I reached into my jacket pocket, pulled out the manila envelope, and slid it across the table. "Divorce papers. My attorney will file them this afternoon. You'll be served officially tomorrow, but I wanted you to see them first. Professional courtesy." She didn't touch the envelope, just stared at it like it might bite her. "I've already moved my personal items out. I'll be staying at an extended stay hotel until we figure out custody arrangements. My attorney will be in touch about asset division, but here's what I want. Joint legal custody, primary physical custody with me. You get reasonable visitation. The house goes on the market, we split the proceeds. Retirement accounts divided per Arizona law. You can keep your car. You can't." She looked up, and there were tears now, real ones, streaming down her face. "You can't just take my children. Our children. And I'm not taking them. I'm protecting them." I leaned forward. From a mother who's been bringing her boyfriend into their home, who's been lying to their faces every single day. Who cares more about her CrossFit coach than her own family? That's not fair. Fair. I felt something crack in my chest, a hairline fracture in the calm I'd been maintaining. "You want to talk about fair? I gave you everything, Emily. 8 years, 2 beautiful daughters, a home, a life, a future. And you threw it away for what? Some guy with abs and a motivational Instagram account?" She was crying openly now, mascara running, shoulders shaking. "I made a mistake. 47 times. You made a mistake 47 times. I stood up, dropped 2 20s on the table. "My attorney's name is Patricia Goodwin. Have your lawyer contact her. Don't contact me directly unless it's about the girls. Don't come to my hotel. Don't show up at my office. We communicate through attorneys from now on. Brandon, please. She reached for my arm. I stepped back. I'll pick up Sophia and Mia from school today. You can see them tomorrow after we establish a temporary custody schedule. Pack a bag for them. 3 days worth of clothes. I'll have someone pick it up. You can't keep me from my daughters. I'm not. But I'm also not leaving them alone with you until we have a court order establishing boundaries. Until I know you're not going to have him around them. Her face crumpled. He never met them. I don't believe you. The words were quiet, final. I don't believe anything you say anymore. I walked out before she could respond. Made it to my truck, hands steady on the wheel, breath controlled and even. Then I sat there for 5 minutes, forehead pressed against the steering wheel, and let myself shake. My phone buzzed. Patricia. Standing by, give me the word. I typed back, file it. 3 dots appeared, then, done. You okay? Was I? I looked back at the restaurant. Through the window, I could see Emily still sitting at our table, face in her hands, shoulders heaving. 8 years, 2 daughters, a whole life. Gone. No, I texted back. But I will be. The restaurant noise faded to background static as Emily stared at the divorce papers spread across the table between us. Her face had gone through shock, denial, anger, now settling into something calculating. I recognized that look. The same one she used when negotiating with contractors or planning elaborate birthday parties. Brandon, please. Her voice dropped to a whisper. Can we just talk about this? Somewhere private? No. You're being unreasonable. This is 8 years. I kept my voice level. Our anniversary, Sophia's birthday. I have 47 documented visits, Emily. 47 times you brought him into our home while our daughters were sleeping upstairs. Her jaw tightened. You've been spying on me? The audacity made me want to laugh. Our doorbell camera, the one you helped me install, the one that sends alerts to both our phones. She looked away, fingers twisting her napkin into a rope. It's not what you think. I watched him kiss you on our front porch at 2 a.m, on our anniversary. That landed. Her face flushed, and for a second I saw actual shame flicker across her features. Then it vanished, replaced by something harder. So what now? She asked. You humiliate me in public, serve me papers, and expect me to just… What? Roll over? I expect you to sign them. I pulled out my phone, opened the folder I'd created. Or I can send this documentation to your mother, your sister, every member of your CrossFit gym. Your choice. Her eyes widened. You wouldn't. Try me. We sat in silence. Around us, the lunch crowd continued their normal Tuesday routines. Business meetings, first dates, retirees enjoying the early bird special. None of them knew they were watching a marriage disintegrate in real time. Emily's phone buzzed. She glanced at it, then quickly turned it face down. But I'd seen enough. The name on the screen. Jason. He doesn't know yet, does he? I asked. That I'm back. That I know. She didn't answer. You should probably tell him. I stood, dropping 2 20s on the table. Because I'm going to see him next. Brandon, don't what? Don't confront the man who's been sleeping with my wife in my house. The one who's been around my daughters? I leaned down, keeping my voice low enough that nearby tables couldn't hear. You lost the right to ask me for anything the first time you brought him home. I left her sitting there, papers still unsigned on the table. Let her figure out how to get home. Let her call Jason for a ride. I didn't care anymore. The drive to CrossFit Revolution took 12 minutes. I'd looked up the address while Emily was in the bathroom at the restaurant, before I'd laid everything out. The building was one of those converted warehouses, all exposed brick and industrial lighting. Through the front windows, I could see people inside, lifting weights, running on treadmills, doing whatever CrossFit people did. I sat in my car for a moment, hands gripping the steering wheel. My lawyer's brain was screaming at me to stop, to turn around, to let the legal process handle everything. But the rest of me, the part that had watched that footage, that had seen him in my home, near my children, that part needed to look Jason Maddox in the eye. The gym smelled like rubber mats and sweat. A woman at the front desk looked up as I entered, her professional smile already forming. "Hi, are you here for the intro class? It starts at—" "I'm here to see Jason Maddox." Her smile faltered slightly. "Is he expecting you?" "No." "Well, he's with a client right now, but if you want to wait—" "I'll wait." I sat on a bench near the entrance, watching through the interior window. It didn't take long to spot him. Tall, muscular, probably spent more time looking in mirrors than at anything else. He was working with a middle-aged guy on deadlifts, demonstrating form, offering encouragement, playing the part of the dedicated coach. My phone buzzed. "Emily, please don't do this. We can work it out. Think of the girls." I turned the phone off. 20 minutes later, Jason finished with his client and headed toward the back offices. I stood, following. The desk woman called after me, but I ignored her. "Jason Maddox." He turned, confusion crossing his face. "Yeah? Can I help you?" "Brandon Hutchins, Emily's husband." The color drained from his face. To his credit, he didn't try to pretend he didn't know what I was talking about. He glanced around, seeing several gym members within earshot, then gestured toward a small office. "Maybe we should—" "No." I stayed exactly where I was. "This won't take long. I want you to stay away from my wife, stay away from my house, stay away from my family." "Look, man, I'm not finished." My voice stayed level, controlled. The lawyer in me taking over. "I have documentation of every time you've been to my house. Timestamps, video, everything. I'm filing for divorce, and if you contact Emily again before it's finalized, I'll make sure everyone in this gym knows exactly what kind of man you are." His jaw clenched. "You don't know anything about— I know you've been sleeping with a married woman in her home while her children were upstairs. I know you were there on her daughter's birthday. On our anniversary." I stepped closer, dropping my voice. "I know that if you come near my family again, I will make it my personal mission to destroy your reputation, your business, and anything else I can reach. Are we clear?" He stared at me, anger and shame warring on his face. "She told me the marriage was over, that you two were just— I don't care what she told you." I turned to leave, then stopped. "Actually, one more thing. The owner of this gym, that's David Peterson, right? Former Marine, married 23 years? Jason's face went pale. "Don't— I wonder what he'd think about his coaches sleeping with married clients. Probably not great for business." I left him standing there. The desk woman tried to say something as I passed, but I kept walking, out into the parking lot, into my car. My hands were shaking now, adrenaline finally hitting. My phone had 7 missed calls from Emily. 3 texts. "Brandon, please. We need to talk. I'll sign whatever you want, just please stop." I deleted them without responding. The drive home felt surreal. I kept expecting to feel something: anger, satisfaction, grief. Instead, there was just this hollow numbness, like I was watching someone else's life unfold. Our house looked the same as always. Emily's car wasn't in the driveway, probably still at the restaurant, or maybe she'd called Jason for that ride after all. I didn't care. Inside, everything was exactly as I'd left it that morning. Sophia's backpack by the door, Mia's toys scattered across the living room floor. The breakfast dishes I'd washed still drying in the rack. Normal life, frozen in place. I went to my office, opened my laptop, and started composing an email to Patricia Goodwin. Subject line: Update. Patricia, Serve the papers at lunch today. She hasn't signed yet but indicated willingness. I also confronted the affair partner at his place of business. No physical altercation, just made clear he needs to stay away from my family. Documented the conversation via phone recording. Texas is one-party consent. Let me know next steps. Brandon. I hit send, then sat back in my chair. The house was too quiet. In a few hours, I'd need to pick up the girls from school and aftercare. Need to figure out what to tell them, how much to say. Need to be dad, not the guy who'd just blown up his entire life. My phone rang. Unknown number? I almost didn't answer, then recognized the area code. Phoenix. Hello? Mr. Hutchins? This is Paul Garrett. I'm the property manager for the Sonoran Vista apartments where Jason Maddox resides. I sat up straighter. Okay. I understand you had an interaction with Mr. Maddox today. He's filed a complaint alleging harassment and threatening behavior. Of course he had. I made it clear he should stay away from my family, I said carefully. That's not harassment. That's a reasonable request from a husband whose wife was having an affair. Silence on the other end. Then, I see. Well, I wanted to give you a courtesy call. Mr. Maddox is requesting a restraining order. Let him try. I kept my voice calm. I have documentation proving he's been trespassing on my property for months, repeatedly, including video evidence. If he wants to involve the legal system, I'm happy to provide that to a judge. Another pause. I see. Well, thank you for your time, Mr. Hutchins. He hung up. I added a note to my documentation file. Jason Maddox attempting to file restraining order. Counter with trespassing evidence if necessary. The front door opened. Emily. I heard her footsteps in the hallway, hesitant. Then she appeared in the office doorway, eyes red from crying, the divorce papers clutched in her hand. I'll sign them, she said quietly. But we need to talk about the girls, about custody. You can't just… Primary physical custody, I said. Non-negotiable. You get supervised visitation until you can prove you're not bringing him around them. That's not fair. Fair? I stood up and she actually took a step back. You want to talk about fair, Emily? Let's talk about our daughter sleeping upstairs while you brought your boyfriend into our home. Let's talk about Sophia's birthday party, where you disappeared for an hour. I checked the footage. He was here. During our daughter's party. She closed her eyes. Brandon. Sign the papers. Move out by Friday. Those are my terms. This is my home, too. Then we can let the lawyers fight it out. But I promise you, every piece of evidence I have will become part of the public record. Every text message, every video, everything. She looked at me like she was seeing a stranger. Maybe she was. Maybe I was someone different now. I never meant for this to happen, she whispered. But it did. And now we deal with the consequences. She set the papers on my desk, unsigned, and walked away. I heard her footsteps on the stairs, heard the bedroom door close. I sat back down and opened my calendar. 2 hours until school pickup. I needed to pull myself together, needed to figure out how to be normal for Sophia and Mia. My phone buzzed one more time. Patricia Goodwin. Good work on the documentation. Let's meet tomorrow morning to discuss next steps. 9 a.m. at my office. I confirmed the appointment, then closed my laptop. Through the window, I could see our neighbor Mrs. Patterson watering her garden, completely oblivious to the implosion happening next door. Normal life, continuing on. Just not for me. Not anymore. 6 months later. The mediation conference room smelled like stale coffee and desperation. Emily sat across from me, her attorney, some guy named Richard Webb, who'd apparently specialized in protecting mothers' rights, whispering something in her ear. She nodded, wouldn't meet my eyes. Patricia Goodwin sat beside me, reading glasses perched on her nose, reviewing the settlement agreement one final time. 6 months of legal warfare had come down to this. A Tuesday morning in a windowless room, dividing up the remnants of 8 years. "My client is prepared to accept the custody arrangement," Webb said, his voice carrying that particular blend of resignation and relief that meant he knew his case was garbage. "Primary physical custody to Mr. Hutchins, supervised visitation for Mrs. Hutchins until she completes the court-ordered counseling program." Emily's hands trembled as she signed her name. I watched the pen move across the page, making it official. Our marriage, our family, reduced to legal documents and custody schedules. I signed next. My signature looked steadier than I felt. The girls adjusted better than I'd feared, worse than I'd hoped. Sophia asked questions I couldn't fully answer. Why doesn't Mommy live with us anymore? And, did we do something wrong? Mia just clung tighter at bedtime, her small arms around my neck like she was afraid I'd disappear too. I kept the house. Emily moved into a one-bedroom apartment in Tempe, the kind of place with thin walls and a view of the parking lot. She saw the girls every other weekend, supervised by her mother for the first 3 months until the therapist signed off. Jason Maddox didn't last. I heard through Tyler, who'd become an unexpected friend through all this, that the gym fired him 2 weeks after everything came out. Apparently, I wasn't the only husband who'd had concerns. He moved to California. Emily claimed it was over between them anyway, that it had just been a mistake, but I saw her Instagram once, noticed she'd deleted every photo from the past year. Erasing evidence. Rewriting history. I didn't care anymore. That was the strangest part. The anger had burned itself out somewhere between the third mediation session and Sophia's school play, where Emily and I sat on opposite sides of the auditorium, both clapping for our daughter, both pretending we were fine. The divorce was finalized on a Thursday in October. I picked up the girls from school, took them for ice cream, told them nothing had changed. Daddy loved them, Mommy loved them, and that was all that mattered. Sophia got chocolate chip. Mia got strawberry. We sat outside the shop in the Phoenix heat, and I watched them laugh over some joke I didn't understand, and I thought, this is what I'm protecting. Not my pride, not my anger, not even justice, really. Just this. 2 little girls who deserved better than the mess their parents had made. I still have the documentation, 47 videos, hundreds of screenshots, the complete timeline of Emily's affair. It sits in an encrypted folder I haven't opened in months. Maybe someday I'll delete it. Maybe not. For now, it exists as evidence of something I've learned. You can document everything, prove everything, win every legal argument, and still lose the life you thought you had. Tyler asked me once if I regretted how I'd handled it. If I wished I'd tried counseling, given Emily a second chance, fought for the marriage instead of ending it. I thought about it. Really thought about it. No, I told him. Some things you can't come back from. Not because forgiveness is impossible. People forgive worse things every day. But because trust, once shattered that completely, leaves fragments that never quite fit back together. You can try to rebuild, but you'll always feel the cracks under your feet. The girls are with Emily this weekend. The house feels too quiet without them, the way it always does. I've started dating again. Nothing serious, just coffee with a paralegal from a different firm, dinner with someone I met at Sophia's soccer game, testing the waters, remembering what it feels like to trust someone new. It's harder than I expected, easier than I feared. Last week, Sophia asked if Mommy and I would ever get back together. She'd seen it in a movie, divorced parents reuniting, the family restored. Happy ending. I knelt down, looked her in the eye, told her the truth. No, sweetheart. But that doesn't mean we don't love you. It just means sometimes grown-ups make mistakes, and the best thing we can do is learn from them and move forward. She nodded, processed it with the strange wisdom of 7-year-olds. Okay, Daddy, can we get pizza for dinner? And just like that, the moment passed. Life continued. If there's a lesson in any of this, it's not about revenge or justice or even truth. It's simpler than that. You can't control what other people do. You can only control how you respond. I could have ignored the signs, pretended everything was fine, lived in comfortable denial. Some people do. Maybe they're happier for it. I could have blown up completely, let rage drive every decision, burned everything down in pursuit of making Emily hurt the way she'd hurt me. Some people do that too. They usually regret it. Instead, I chose documentation over destruction, evidence over emotion. I built my case, protected my daughters, and walked away from a marriage that had already ended. I'd just been the last to know. Was it the right choice? I don't know. There probably isn't a right choice when your spouse betrays you. Just different versions of pain, different paths through the wreckage. But I can look at myself in the mirror. I can look my daughters in the eye. And when they're old enough to understand what happened, they'll know their father didn't abandon them, didn't let anger make him cruel, didn't teach them that love means accepting betrayal. They'll know that sometimes the hardest thing and the right thing are the same thing. And maybe that's enough. The sun sets over Phoenix the way it always does, brilliant orange and pink, turning the desert mountains into silhouettes. I stand in my backyard, watching it, thinking about the man I was 6 months ago. The one who thought he had everything figured out. The one who didn't know his wife was lying to him every single day. That man is gone. In his place is someone harder maybe, certainly more careful, but also someone who knows what he's capable of. Surviving, protecting what matters, rebuilding from ruins. My phone buzzes. A text from Sophia, sent from Emily's phone. Love you, Daddy. See you Sunday. I text back. Love you more, sweetheart. Have fun with Mommy. And I mean it. Because whatever Emily did to me, she's still their mother. They still love her. And teaching them to hate her would only hurt them. So I take the high road. Not because I'm noble or forgiving or over it, but because my daughters are watching, learning what it means to be a good person even when someone breaks your heart. And that's a lesson worth teaching, even if it costs me everything else. The desert evening cools. Tomorrow I'll wake up, make breakfast, maybe call that paralegal about a second date. The girls will come home Sunday. Life will continue its strange, imperfect forward motion. And somewhere in all of that, I'll keep learning how to be whole again. One day at a time. One choice at a time. One step forward into whatever comes next.